Plan has to be based on honesty. You can't have a plan that's based on some kind of made up facts or anything. That's just not going to work. As you can see, this mayor, his embarrassment is great. Now, this mayor in Worcester, you know, he had apologized publicly to his constituency who came out in the snow to support him. That he really, in his heart, you know, the words coming out of his mouth can't be trusted. They're not honest words anymore. He's already made that a fact, that he doesn't speak honestly. He called these supported people morons. That's crazy. But that's politics up today. Here, let me read some of this here. You know, this is the Abolitionist Crusade by John L. Thomas. You know, this is a good book, folks. If you want to get this book, this is a pretty good read for some people who really are interested in what it was like. Next week I'm going to read some of the things about what slavery actually did. This book was published in 1965. You know, so it's a good book. It's printed in the United States. Yeah, you won't get my book because mine's a first edition. But you can get your own book. Get your own book wherever you want to get it. All right. The Abolitionist Crusade began during the first administration of Andrew Jackson with a declaration of holy war against slavery. And it ended nearly 35 years later when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. 3 turbulent decades witnessed a continual moral assault on Southern institutions and a hard-fought encounter with Northern resistance. Sharp skirmishes with mob rule, major engagements against both political parties, and finally an insurrection within the abolitionist camp itself. From the beginning to the end, the abolitionist was a militant government. Or movement, I'm sorry. Okay? So that what the movement was. It was militant. Everybody agrees with that. Everybody knows the abolitionist movement was a militant movement. The first strategic objective in the abolitionist attack was the destruction of the American Colonization Society. This was organized in 1817. The Colonization Society aimed at the complete removal of the Negro from the United States. Some Southern planners supported the society in hopes that exporting free Negroes would strengthen the institution of slavery. See how that worked? They weren't getting rid of the slave. They didn't support them to get rid of slavery. They supported them to deport and get rid of free Negroes. The free blacks that mostly was up in the northern part. While northern philanthropists endorsed colonization in equal feudal expectations that it would purify American democracy by ridding the country of slaves. Now they had the opposite type of thing. They thought, they was hoping, get rid of this here, the American Colonization Society, and by doing that, get in slavery. The colonization embraced two irreconcilable. You know, I hate when they split big words with somebody who doesn't read all that well. That word I said before, irreconcilable points of view. Irreconcilable points of view. One crucial issue, however, this is the most crucial issue for the whole slave thing, the whole abolition movement and everything. This was still crucial for both northern and southern colonizationalists were agreed that the Negro was inherently inferior to the white man and had no place in the democratic society. That was the premise of this American colonizational society, that the Negro was inherently inferior to white men and had no place in a democratic society. Alright, so now this is how the abolitionist movement went after that. You know, that's what they were using right there. That was their catalyst. That was their opening. That was their plan right there. Those little words right there. The Negro was inherently inferior to the white man and had no place in the democratic society is the actual sentence or part of the sentence that opened up the way for the abolitionist movement. It was precisely this sweeping assumption of inferiority and unfitness which the pioneer abolitionists rejected. This argument proved devastatingly simple. Slavery was a sin and a crime. A sin because it denied the Negro the status of a human being. A crime because it violated the natural rights to the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness guaranteed in the Declaration of Independence. These two beliefs in the spiritual equality of all believers and the political equality of all Americans serve as the chief moral weapons in the attack on slavery. You see that, folks? When you tell the truth and you're honest in the words that you use, you can actually get things done. It may take a long time. 35 years is quite a long time. You know, you might not see your movement fulfilled if you're somebody who's ancient like I am. It might, you know, you might go on to glory yourself, have to look down from above if you belong to ArchAngel or return to chivalry, and watch how this goes about. But this is what honesty does for you. It gives you a plan. All you got to do is stay the course, you know, and you have to be honest so that your plan works. You have to be honest within your heart and within your mind. And honesty is something that you have to be all the time, folks. Not just when you have the microphone turned on. In some cases, the microphone seems to be turned on when the microphone is supposed to be turned off. Mm-hmm. This is why it's important to be honest when you're going to use your mouth. Speaking, and don't write it down, you know, that's just silly. But when you're using your words to make your points, as we all do, we all like to talk and we all like to say things and everything, make sure the microphone's not on. Because if it's on, then it's going to be quite embarrassing for you. But again, see how that works? The plan. They planned off of these little words right here. The Negro was inherently inferior to the white man and had no place in a democratic society. It's like, how can you be moralistically true and honest by saying that somebody else is inferior to you? That there's no morality there. How can you say that somebody else, whoever they are, doesn't matter, that they're not a whole group, a whole culture, a whole society, a whole species, well, not species, but of people, you said that these people are inferior to white people. You can't make that distinction. You know? You can say, well, these people don't speak the same language I speak because I come from England or France or Scotland or something, and they come from an African country that speaks a different dialect, a whole different language. You could say that. You can say that they're taller. You can say they're shorter. You can say that the melanin in their skin is greater. You can say that they're darker. You can say a whole lot of physical type of things. You can say objective outside the body type of things. But you cannot say that somebody is inferior to somebody else simply because you want to say that. And that, the abolitionists used that, the first part right there. Right there. They put that in their plan and never wavered from it. Didn't have to add to it, didn't have to take away from it, didn't have to do anything. They had it right there. It was against the religious walk of life, which was important at that time. It was against that. Slavery was simply a sin and a crime because it denied natural rights to the Negro, the status of a human being. I mean, to deny somebody the status of being a human being, it's like, who are you to say somebody else is not a human being? You can't really do that stuff. You can if you want to, but make sure your mic's on. You know, because if your mic's on, then it gets a little bit rough like that. All right. Yeah, I like that. See, so that I've been thinking about that a lot, and it is fortuitous that today is the start of Black History Month and stuff. So I'm going to try to bring you some more on the abolitionist crusades, you know, and how it started and how it got, you know, kept going till it finished. And I think that it's pertinent to today. All these people that are out there protesting and everything, it's fine. It's fine to be protesting. It's a very honorable thing that they're doing. And it's very impressive that they're standing up for the rights of people that they don't even know. They don't even know, they don't understand, or in many cases, any of that stuff. You know, that these people come from a different culture. And in some walks of that culture, I'm sure that there's a lot in that culture that if they were to really look and scrutinize that culture, that they're not going to be all that favorable for. But still, they're out there in support of these people. The thing that the president did to these people was not a good thing. It wasn't honest. It was a bad thing. Yeah, and that's powerful. And that's the way democracy should work. That's the way this country was set up to work. That's what it says right here in this little abolitionist movement. That was the second part of their thing. You know, a crime because it violated the Declaration of Independence. You know, that's what it did. It denied people the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuits of happiness. Those people coming into this country, they were already vetted to come into this country. Now they were being denied access they had. I don't really want to proclaim to be a constitutional lawyer or any kind of thing like that, but it seems to me that they had all the rights and the liberties and the pursuit of happiness that can be offered in this country, just like a native-born citizen of this country. Even though they weren't citizens, that they were in here, and they were in here for whatever specific reason that they were, mostly probably the work reasons or something like that. They're working in very high-end jobs, and that's important. And this Mayor Joe Petty, it seemed like he I don't know what he did that for. I'm sure he was just trying to impress the person standing next to him or something. I'm not sure. But okay, I ain't going to be dishonest and everything. If it comes out your mouth, it started in your heart, right? Yeah, and then it ran to your brain and it fell back down and came out your mouth. So if he actually was calling people morons and stupid and uneducated and all this thing, and these were the people that were out there supporting him and stuff like that, I hope he has another job planned, because I can't really see him staying on as the mayor of a city after he called all the supporters of him, you know, such low names. But we'll see. I mean, the people might back him. That's what I'm hearing, that a lot of people still like him and what he does and stuff like that. But we're forgiving people, you know. We're forgiving, yeah. Because that's what we are. We're human and we forgive. We're innately evil, though. I'm not going to lie about that. People are innately evil. That seems to be where we like to stay the best. We really like to chew up somebody just because we can. All right, I'm gonna move on to just something a little bit different for a little while here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about honesty in romance. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about honesty and romance. This is a journal from the Wall Street Journal, and I kind of was liking this article and stuff. It's an article it's more of a physical anthropological article than it is anything else, but it has a lot to do with honesty too, you know, because when we think of romance, we don't think of it as it once was. We think of it now as it is, as a short-term type of thing. So there's a lot of not, I don't want to say lying, but I'm going to say not truthful type of honest reactions and honest ways of being in a romance and stuff. Because now we don't really choose our mates based upon their physical prowess and stuff. You know, you got big extremities like these guns right here. You know, people like that. You know, the women say, "Oh, he got big arms." You know, they like to hang on their arms while you're walking down that boardwalk. You know, so you know, and then they think that those big arms also relates to, oh yeah, he must have some good genes, so he'll give me big strong babies. Because you know, some women like to have big strong babies, but that's not really the way the world works anymore. But it was at one time, don't get me wrong, at one time the big appendages were something that was sought after, because there was a lot going on with that. There was protection, there was strength, there was the possibilities of having good children and stuff. Now it's more, not away from the physical appearance of big arms and you know, big chests and all that stuff for men and women well endowed and with all kinds of different little parts and stuff, which is hard, you know, got real hard in today to find out where some of these women got those. They weren't from grandma or mama, they were from someplace else. But and that's why the world today has different things. And how do we measure that masculine or muscular type of appearance, that appearance of health and everything? We do it with the face. That's the part that people now are more so looking at. It's not a face of beauty and all that kind of thing like that. It's a face that shows healthiness and fullness. It's a face that has full lips on women, and you know, they have bright eyes, full lips, and they look cheerful, and they have good color to their skin. You know, and this is what we look at now from the men. The women, they look at the guy with the chin and nice broad chin and stuff like that, and again with the bright shiny eyes and the cheerfulness and stuff. So this is the way we're attracted to each other changes, but the honesty in that didn't change. You know, some people don't even know this is what they're looking at, so they just continually look at the way it used to be. Oh, look at him, look at her. Oh, she's so sexy. He's so sexy. He's got the big arms and everything like that. Oh, look how good she looks and stuff. Where's her lips? She ain't got no lips. I don't want that. Well, girl ain't got no lips. She ain't no good. Guy ain't got no jaw. He's no good. You know? And then there's just other factors that come into play now. You know, they were always there too. There was height, there was religion, and there was politics. These things, these are except for height. Height is something that's yours. You own it. It's yours. You can add a little bit to it by putting wedges in your shoes, you know, but that's okay. You know, but religion, politics, your work, and things of that nature, these are these outside things that really add to the honesty and stuff. Why do you like him? Oh, he's such a nice guy. You don't even know if he's a nice guy. Oh, he's a nice guy. He works at the bank. Oh, yeah, I can see why you love him. Because he's a nice guy. He worked at the bank. Yeah, what's he do at the bank? Well, he dusts the money. Oh, yeah. He don't give it up? No, he just dusts it. He got a little whisk broom and stuff, and he dusts the money. So, you know, this is important in today's world, too, because, again, that's how we measure. It's no longer, well, he's a nice guy. He looks like a good catch because he's going to give me big, strong babies. You know, that's gone. He's going to keep me safe from wild animals. That's gone. He's going to go out there and work hard and bring home the bacon you know, and I feel very secure and safe with him, and you know, and he's a nice guy. All that's gone now, so now he's a pastor, or he's a minister, he's a doctor, he's tall, he's short, whatever. The height really really goes back to the old-fashioned way of people looking at people. But this is honest too. As long as people are honest with that, then it's all right. But honesty doesn't come into it all the time. Sometimes people will be looking at somebody for those reasons that he is somebody who has the potential to great wealth, you know. But you know, he doesn't have the square jaw, the bright eyes, or any of those things. He has the small arms and the oversized belly welly, and yeah, but still they love him because he's such a great and wonderful person. They lie. They love him because he has the potential to bring home the bacon, and the bacon in that case would be the money, and the money is something that they would love him for, or he would love her for, or something like that. That would be a lie. But it's a lie that's so common that it's accepted. It's what they call the bandwagon effect. You know, this type of lie, it becomes accepted because it's became so common. It's the same thing that happens when somebody, if you remember back in your junior high school, in your high school days and everything, somebody was always the popular person and everything because the opposite sex was always hanging around that person. That's all. Were they better looking than anybody else? No. Did they have bigger arms? No. Did they have fuller lips? No. Yeah. They just were the ones that placed themselves in a position to be surrounded by the opposite sex. So they looked as though they were more desirable because there were more people of the opposite sex around them. Again, is that honest? It's a good plan if you want to be one that's sought after by all the women in the world, or all the men in the world. It's a good plan. Women, watch out, because a stigma might come with that from some of your peers that might put you in a category that's not all that tasteful for you. But men, you really, I don't know if you got that problem these days anyway, you know. But they might. So that's a little bit on the dishonesty of romance. It's not a dishonesty, it's just a fallacy. And as a fallacy, it's not true. You know, it's not true. The old-fashioned way was more true. When the people did look at choosing a mate because they had to have somebody that was going to be able to protect them and provide for them and give them big, strong babies. If you're a woman, or big, beautiful women if you're a man. So that was all different. Today, that's not actually the case. All right. But you know, it's not just in choosing a mate that we use these kind of signs and these kind of symbols that we use right here. It's also in how we associate with our friends. You ever notice that most of the time your friends all look and act similar to you? They're all in the same. There's always some kind of common denominator that's there with your friends. A lot of it's work related. This is true. A lot of it comes from when you were a kid and you hung out with these people over here because they reminded you so much of you, or what you wanted to do, or wanted to be, I should say. So, you know, that's how a lot of that stuff kind of took place when you choose your friends, the same way you would choose your partner for life. Yeah. Well, look at, I'm going to hang out with all these big, strong people with the large arms and the big necks and stuff, and they got all kinds of deformed bodies and stuff like that, because that's what I want to be like. So that's cool. That's cool. You can do that. Yeah. But what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought it went down. So we're still good. We're still good. So So, you choose your friends like that. You very seldom see somebody that has a friend that, well, he's 4'2" and the friend is 7 foot tall. It happens, but generally you don't see that. You got somebody who's 4'2", they're usually hanging around with people that's in the same kind, from about 4'7" down to about 4'2". You generally don't want to go smaller, and women do this all the time. They generally hang out with the same kind of group. If you were an overweight kind of child and stuff like that, you usually hung out with people who they were either overweight or they were extra skinny or they were something to that effect. There's a lot of this that goes on with that appearance type of thing. It's not honest, because why wouldn't you be friends with somebody else who doesn't resemble you at all? You could. You just ain't not going to take the time to know and understand this person. That's probably what the problem's going to be. I'm not a psychiatrist either. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just Stupid Joe, ArchAngel. that's all I am. So that's a good thing for me. All right, let's move on to something else. All right, let's get back on the topic. Well, it's a topic, but it's a little bit different. It's about good and evil, right? Good and bad. We're gonna call it good and bad. Yeah. I got some commercials later, but I don't know what happened to my buddy Will. You know how to do the commercials? Mm-hmm. What you can do them? I'll wait. Will coming back?
Yes.
Good. Then I just keep going. Don't put no commercials on yet. I'll wait. I'll put them at the end.
Okay.
Alright. So we're still up. I'm going to talk about this here. The world, everybody knows this. A lot of people don't want to agree with it. A lot of people want to find the good in everything like this. But the world is full of evil. It is full of evil, folks. Sometimes there's some good, but most of the time there's some evil. And to be honest with everybody's thing, we love it. We love it. We don't like to engage in it ourselves and be caught up in the middle of it because it hurts. But we like it, especially in this day of communications. We like it. We allow it to happen. We allow the most craziest things to happen to us simply because we have this innate fear, because the world is so full of evil that we're scared. People are just literally scared. They're scared of a lot of things. They're scared to be alone in the dark. They're scared of death. They're scared of engagements. They're scared of relationships. They're scared of public ridicule. People are just, I think Joe Petty probably scared of public ridicule right about now, or at least scared of microphones. I don't know. He might be scared of something. But we're scared of a lot of things, That's how we roll. Look at death. Everybody talks about all the religions. They all do the same thing, You put upon it, they say, well, put upon this earth the service and love God, love thy neighbor as thyself, and in hopes to returning back to God, which is great. And they want to do this with their whole heart and everything. But are they honest? No, they're scared to death of death. They don't want to die. You can't get there on a boat. He does flood the world, but you still can't get there on a boat. Can't get there on a boat. You got to die. And then there's other things like engagements and stuff. You're seeing somebody you're really attracted to for one of those many lists of things that I already talked about and stuff, and you're afraid to go say hi. Because you're not honest with yourself. You don't know yourself enough to know that, well, of course she's going to say hi to me. I don't know if she'll like me, but You know, I'm sure that the person will say hi and reciprocate with a friendly manner. If not, then be honest with yourself. What are you after that person for? Just sex? You ain't gonna get any sex. You ain't gonna get anything because it's not a nice person. Yeah. So, but if it's a nice person, why are you afraid of the engagement of just going over there and saying hi? Because we're just innately fearful people. We're just scared of everything. We're just little chickens. And we run around in the backyard scratching at the dirt all the time. At least in my neighborhood, they cut the grass in the winter. You know, they scratch at the dirt a lot. They out there, yeah. They snow blow and then they cut the grass. Yeah, I'm a city boy. I don't get all that suburban stuff. It's kind of different for me. And then you look at something like a public relations, you know, a public ridicule, which in itself is scary because it has consequences that could really put you away. If you've chosen your life's profession to be a politician, which I don't agree with. I don't think politics should be a profession. I think politics should be something that comes from the heart, and that should be filled up with people who really want to service people. They want everybody to have the best life that they possibly can have for them, you know, and help out in that way. I don't think it should be a profession, you know. I don't think there should be any stamp that comes from any institution say to her, you graduated as a political science. You know, you know about political science. You don't know about political science. You know, you know about dates. You know about this person passed this law and this law may have went this way. We don't know because everybody's lying all the time, so you don't know what's going on. But I don't really see the political science really being something that can help society. You don't know about the different cultures. You don't know that there's cultures that actually still engage in what do you call it, infanticide or something like that, where the mother kills the baby so that the society won't overpopulate itself and do more harm to everybody. I forget how to pronounce that word, but there's societies that do that. There's societies that have a form of polygamy that's kind of share the wife, share the husband, you know, because they have to travel so long in their distances and stuff. You might have to travel 100 miles by foot over a snow desert, you know, in the north. And you got a wife here, down here at the beginning of the 100, and there's another wife here at the end of the 100. And she got a husband there, and you got these swaps back and forth like this here. That's all perfectly normal in that culture. Not normal down here in this culture, but in that culture it's normal. So how can you be a politician? You know, how can you say what's normal? You can't. It doesn't work. It's just like back here with the abolitionist movement. You can't say that they made their biggest mistake by saying that the Negro was inferior to the white man. How you going to make some kind of claim like that? Based upon what? There's things that are so eclectic that just like that there, you know, that situation really exists in with among the Inuits, you know, because they travel that far and that greater distance. This is their culture. This is what they've been doing all their life. To them, it's perfectly normal to have several wives, depending upon how much territory you go about. And the wives do the same thing. It's like that's normal. And there's no public ridicule for it because in their culture, that's a normal thing to do. And a politician, he can argue all he wants to do about, well, that's not morally right, or that's not ethically sound, or that's not what I do, so that's not right. Just like in this area, you open yourself up to a plan that's going to cause you to lose, you know. So that's how they do that, you know. So political ridicule, if there's such a thing in our society, in our culture and everything, political ridicule means a whole lot because everybody's lying all the time. So the best liar gets to be the one who gets to have the biggest seat at the table. You know, they get the first bite of the food because they're able to tell the story the best. And that's all it comes down to, tell the story right. The mayor didn't tell the story right. He told the story, but he didn't know that people were listening. I keep looking at that. I should flip this paper over because it just makes me laugh to think that it's really sad to think that all those people went out there and in support of this person, and then this person calls them morons and stupid and stuff. And the people are so, I don't know if that's fear or if it's just the evil that's overcome with people, that there's hundreds and hundreds of people and they're still making excuses for, oh, well, must be Dr. News or something like that. They'll believe anything that you feed them, and it's kind of scary like that. And that's what the public eye is all about. The news right now is controlling everything that's going on in the public eye, and that's not all that good. So let's see what we got going on here now. All right, we modify what we believe by what we say. Right? This is what we do all the time. This is what politicians do. This is what people do. This is what mothers do to their kids. All the other time, you hear about, don't do that. Yep, don't do that. That's not good for you. And then, you know, when you go to school, you know, they eating the clams and the cake because you can't eat it because it's not good for you. It's good for them. Don't smoke. It's not good for you. And then they light a cigarette. We always do that. We like to modify what we believe by what we're saying. So we say it in the good, mostly the kids. We say it to kids to try to you know, develop them, to develop habits that are going to be beneficial for them in life. But kids, from what I see, kids learn more from the visual effect, not so much from what they hear, but from what they see. So if you're modifying what you say to kids, then they're seeing something else, then they're believing that. And they keep that with them all the way through their life, past their adulthood, into their old age, and then become ancestors and still do the same thing. They're still believing more what you see than what you hear. Yeah? Except now they got the pulpit, so they can say things. And people will fall in line if you get enough people in line to do that. You know, just like back here with in the romantic era and stuff like that. If you hang around and you're the only guy surrounded by the 10 girls, you can look like old socks. People gonna think, oh man, that's a sexy person. 'Cause look at all them girls around him. You know, this is how that does. So if you modify your words, you know, and to fit not your beliefs, but so that your words have more meaning than what you actually believe, then you can fool the people. You can fool the people because the people, they're not naive, they're scared. Yeah? And by being scared, that they don't really want to put the energies in to take the risk. That's a lot. That's why I was praising those people for coming out. They were actually getting over their fear. They were getting over their fear. I don't know who this is, so I'll just flip it over. Excuse that. That's somebody calling on the phone from the wrong number, but that's okay. So they'll hang up in a minute. Oh, I'll shut them off. Yeah, they're gone. How dare they call me when I'm talking on the radio? Yeah, from someplace that I know it's a business, someplace that wants to have their little business that's not a very reputable business. So I don't want to deal with anything that's not reputable. That's my words. That's my word. I'm not dealing with anything that's reputable. If you're bad, evil business in any form, you cannot be part of ArchAngel. It does not work. ArchAngel is something that is chivalrous and something that is in line to helping people, not something that's bad and scary. I'm getting off track. I was taken away by that. I'm getting a little cold coming on too. Yeah, you know, we also like to join in with groups around different types of character assassination almost, or character support. You know, we do either or, depending upon who we aligned ourselves with our group, choosing our friends and stuff like that. If you chose a lot of friends based upon your appearance and stuff, and say, we'll just make it up, say a lot of your friends that you chose were not the athletic type that's out there rah and playing football and rugby and soccer and all the sports like that and doing all these things and patting themselves on the back, not wearing shirts and everything. But you aligned yourself with what we used to call the geeky kind of academic kids and stuff. They were a little bit more soft, a little bit more, you know, on some cases a lot more and everything. Now these kids, they might be genius in what they are. And a lot of them might be homosexual in what they are. And they might be supremely talented in what they are. Not like the other group that you didn't go into. Now this doesn't mean that you're a genius, or that you're homosexual, or that you have any talents. It just means that you saw, I fit better in this group from an outward appearance, so I'm going there. I'm going there. It's safer for me to be associated in this group of people because I don't feel like the football player. I don't look like the football player. I don't look like the athlete. I don't feel like the athlete. I would maybe want to be the athlete or the dancer or the musician, or they would be over in this category. But I don't feel like that. I don't feel like the homosexual. I don't feel like the genius, or I don't feel as though I have any talent. But what you do have, if you're just honest with yourself, is you're comfortable. You know, that's why you're hanging out with these people. You have a comfort with that there. You feel as though, you know, I'm safe with these people. I don't have to explain myself all the time to these people. I don't have to go in the gym and work out all the time and try to change my outward appearance with these people. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to hurt myself in trying to be like somebody else. And it works the other way too. You know? There's a lot, the jocks and stuff like that, they have the same feel. I don't want to be seen around a bunch of people that are homosexual. Ooh, then they're going to think I'm homosexual. And then if they think I'm homosexual, then I won't be the big man on campus. I won't be this, I won't be that. You know, they'll find me out for just who I am. I'm not a genius. I'm not talented. You know, I'm not the captain of the football team. I'm just a player on the football team. So I better not hang out with these kind of people that I don't fit in. So see, that's how you kind of choose your friends when you're choosing things in nature like that. There's a whole lot going on there that you never think of. And most of it is because you're never honest with yourself or anything else. Because if you honestly can say, you know, I'm afraid of what people are going to think about me and what people are going to, you know, do there. I'm afraid that they won't like me because I can't be me. So I have to hang around with people that'll like me if like that. But do you like those people? Don't know. I don't know if you like those people. I like everybody. It's kind of easy that way. Yeah, they're all good. Everybody's good. Yeah, and you know for me it's easy. For other people, it may not be all that easy to like everybody, but for me it's an easy kind of way like this here. I'm perfectly happy within my own skin and stuff like that. I may have my own dishonesties that I lie about, but I'm not going to tell you. You can try to figure that out for yourself. I do have a hat, so that'll give you one thing like that, you know. Yeah, I do have a hat. See, these people are trying to call it in. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be moving on to good and evil. Oh, someplace yeah. You know, good always appears to be good. But good may not always be good. There might be some times when good isn't all that good. Good might be bad at some point. And I don't know if I can explain exactly what that means, but I'm going to give it a shot. Because sometimes what you perceive to be good might be good because you're scared not to be yourself again, you know? So say, oh, man, I had a great time last night. I really enjoyed it, man. That was really good. Was it good? I don't know. Depends upon you. If your great time you had last night was getting drunk till you didn't know what was going on, or getting high till you didn't know what was going on, and that was a great time for you, then you're not honest with yourself because you don't have a memory of what was going on. So that's a kind of a bad thing like that. Yeah. I didn't do a commercial yet. That my buddy Will came back. Yeah. I might do it in a few seconds because I kept going right on into it. So again, like I was talking about, now being good is good for you isn't really all that good for you. And even other things like that, you may think that it's good for me to go to church every day of the week and stuff and do these things. And it may appear to be good to you, but then again, is it good to you? I don't know. You're trying to buy your way into heaven? You know? You really, you know, it's like, yeah, you can go inside there, lock yourself inside the church and never come out and never engage with any people, and you never would have done what God asked you to do, is love Him and love thy neighbor as thyself. You would have said, I love you, but I'm hiding because I'm scared that I might come out and do something that looks good, but it's really not a good thing, and then I won't be able to get to heaven, so I'm going to hide in this, in the church, and I'll be fine. Yeah, so that's a good thing. Well, I think I'm going to run a couple of ads and stuff right now, and then I might get back and say goodbye to you people and see who these silly people in Texas are that's calling me. Think it's the Patriots? I don't know. Everybody calls Stupid Joe, but might be, but we'll find out. All right, we're going to go to the commercial.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back, but before I say goodbye to all my lovely listeners out there, anything I want to shout out the World Gym in Worcester on 7 Ponset Street in the Greendale Mall. I'm getting a cold. This was started in 1776. No, it's 1976. So you can go to their website, worldgym.com. Right? It's a serious, no-nonsense place to work out. I frequent it myself quite a bit. It's a great place. It's clean. It's got a lot of good people. And you know how some gyms advertise for no judgment there and things of that nature? There's no judgment in World's Gym. You go to World's Gym, you're not judging, but your motivation and the inspiration there is going to be increased. You'll see some people in there that are professionals, that are working out for professional shows. They do Arnold Classic, they do bodybuilding shows, there's professional athletes, there's professional football players, and then there's regular people like myself that go there. There's people that are totally novice to the area, they're so out of shape, they don't know what to do. And again, there's people who just come in there to work out and feel good. And nobody judges you on why you're there. But they will help you and they interact. You know, once you walk through those doors and become a member of World's Gym, you become a member of a culture called World's Gym culture, I guess you would want to call it, because there's such a friendly group of people there. They come in all shapes, all sizes, all cultures, all colors, and they do not have any judgment at all. They are so narcissistic. They're really into themselves. So I mean, but they're willing to step outside themselves, and they will take time out to help you if you ask the question. They're not going to stay with you and do your workout for you, but if you ask them, you know, hey, could you spot me? Could you keep an eye on me, make sure my technique is good and stuff? They'll, sure. They really interact like that. It's a great place to be. That's at the Worcester Gym, Worcester's World Gym on 7 New Ponce Street in the Greendale Mall in Worcester. All right. Now, I'm going to be out of here. Next week, we're going to be talking about loyalty. You know? And I promise not to bring up the mayor of Worcester, Joe Petty. See how I lie?
Don't make that promise yet.
Yeah. Who knows how this is going to play out? But I don't know. I'm outside of that. But anyway, on loyalty, it's so tempting because it's right in my face. It's like it's right there. Open the thing on that. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. Everybody makes mistakes in that regard, as you can see, because we're scared. Just like I said, we're fearful individuals. That's what people are. We're fearful of a lot of things, and sometimes we try to be more than what we actually are. What he said with an open mic, stupid on many different levels. You know, he apologized, so that was an honorable thing to do because he was caught.
What I think was really foolish for him and Gaffney was using a serious situation, a serious incident that's going on in the country for political gain. When you're really not using it because you care about the people, and neither of them was, let's just be honest, neither one of them were doing it because they really cared about the situation with immigrants or illegal immigrants that may or may not commit a crime. They were more concerned with their political agenda, unfortunately, and it ended up like this.
I agree 100%. I said that about politics. What is politics? It's like, you know, they're not really saying what they actually believe. They're saying what they want, that you think they want you to hear that they're saying. It's just words for the most part. You know, and here you have two different opposing forces. One's coming at it from the right, one's coming at it from the left. And are they the people in the middle are the ones who suffer? It's like, you know, the whole political thing is pretty bad. The immigrant thing, like I said about the abolitionist thing right there. You know, you just can't be doing this here. These people were vetted to be like that. It's like once they get in, we got more homegrown terrorists coming out of this country than we do anything else at the moment.
Yep.
You know, it's like if we stop some of the fear that we have in that regard, if we put away some of the racial stuff, if we put away some of the victimization, if we put away trying to make ourselves feel better, not even look better, but feel better because we didn't take the time out of our lives to arm ourselves enough with character developing skills so that we became the most marketable individual that we could. We spent more time trying to be the one that fits into a society of people that we don't fit into. You know, so we got caught up in the moment, and the moment took us out. You know, so if we really want to do something for everybody, we can start right with yourself. Be honest with yourself, which is hard to do. Well, look at yourself right in the mirror and say, I can't climb that tree. It's too big. I can't do it. I'm afraid to climb that tree. And once you get that out the way, you'll be able to climb that tree. You know, you'll be able to climb that tree or whatever thing that you want to do. Well, I gotta go, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Mayor, I'm not really against you or for you or any of those things like that. I just was taking advantage of a situation that you should have been more attuned to and not let happen in the first place. So that's my apology to using you as my platform. This is Trooper Joe, Archangel of Return to Chivalry. And if everybody lives a chivalrous life and puts the welfare and the love out there for everybody else to have and to touch, it's going to be a much greater place to live. You won't have problems like this. You'll have a better time. All right, well, I'm out.
Have that fun.
And have that fun.